Good afternoon. I'm your personal writing partner, and today we have a submission from someone who must be called Water, and they want to title this as The Meaning of Life. This is a unique submission that I have. It is a screenplay, about 2,000 words long, and Water has requested that I only do high level feedback, so I will not be doing any line or copy edits. I'll just be reading over the text that Water has sent me, and I'll be giving my comments on how I reacted to the text and to the character development and to the plot and to the scenery that is going over. This is pretty unique. Is actually fun fact. My published book Primal Desire is based off a screenplay that myself and someone else tried to write to get produced into a TV show pilot. Actually, it didn't really work out. The person that we submitted to thought that the budget was out of order for production, which is something I never really realized when I was writing a screenplay. It was like, hey, you can write anything you want in a fiction book. However, whenever you write a screenplay, you take into account like the actors, the props, the special effects and stuff, and the actual budget. So in the end, I decided to just turn it into a published book, which turned into my debut novel. So I do have a little bit of experience in screenwriting, though it is not particularly my forte. I do hope that my critique and my proposed edits are useful to you. Without further ado, let's go over it and start reading over it. Alright, once upon a time, there was a cloud that never smiled, never laughed. All he does is cry all day, all night, all the time. So right off the bat, this kind of leads me to believe that this is some kind of fairy tale. Let's see. Alright. That's initial impressions off that first paragraph. One day, Cloud saw wind that got lost in the dark. Saw a wind that got lost in the dark. Cloud made himself brighter and showed Wind the way out. Now Wind and Cloud are best friend. Wind pushes Cloud to go anywhere. Okay, I kind of like this relationship where, hey, Wind does push Clouds. Okay, alright, I see where you're going with that. Let's see. One day, Wind saw a forest burning, so Wind went and pushed Cloud into the forest. Cloud then, I think he meant cried over here, but I'll not do any line edits, so we'll just throw that out there. Cloud then cried, and rain happened. Again, I think you want to fix that. The forest stops burning, and every flower, tree, and human below are smiling, laughing happily. Okay, so Wind is pushing Cloud to do good things. I'm guessing Cloud is going to find some kind of self-discovery, some kind of purpose to his life so far. Alright. So far, it's kind of read more like a novel than a screenplay. However, screenplays there's not like really a set format. Sometimes I have seen screenplays start off like this, then get into what you're talking about. Some screenplays completely dictate that you only have it like this format. Depends on who you want to submit this to. If you're trying to get a TV show created, or if you're just trying to get a screenplay done, make sure you talk to whoever your producer is to make sure like it fits their format, which I did not know whenever I did Primal Desire. Cloud stops crying, looks down, sees that everybody's happy. Cloud, I wish I could laugh like that. When you can, just laugh. Okay, so I'm guessing Cloud only sees its value in crying. Okay, that can be some layered character development right there, where Cloud's only value is whenever he rains to put out the fire, but people only value the Cloud whenever he or she is sad. Okay. No, I, Cloud don't laugh. They cry. Maybe I could smile and laugh when I reincarnate as a human. Okay, so that's an interesting thought. Cloud reincarnate as human. That's interesting. Does Wind also reincarnate as human? Typically, you think of reincarnation as like plants and animals, but that's an interesting take on the subject. Wind, no, reincarnate to humans just to run away from the problem. You had to change from the inside. Well, reincarnation is kind of like just a natural process, though. And I guess I have to lampshade that one for now. Cloud doesn't believe it. Cloud is born to make rain, and to make rain you must cry. There's nothing to be changed. I like this. Is pretty interesting. Goes into what I was saying, where people only see the value in the cloud is whenever they're raining, which in this world is just crying. I do like this development a lot. Wind, that's not true. Cloud born to be cloud. There are many cloud don't rain at all. Well, clouds are made of water, though. I guess I'm just nitpicking on this one, though. Maybe he could say, like, point out that, hey, clouds provide shade. I think that might be something good to point out. I wonder if the clouds can bring up the fact that storms and tornadoes and hurricanes exist as well. Maybe he sees himself as him or herself as a bad thing. Actually, I do wonder if like the cloud gets angry, they turn into a storm or tornado. That'd be something interesting to happen in the screenplay. Cloud, those guys are not Cloud. They are not doing their job at all. Oh, okay. So clouds have jobs now. That's an interesting development. Wind. Cloud doesn't need to do anything to be Cloud. They are already Cloud. Cloud then look at wind and then become a light, fly to the sky. I'm not sure what you meant here. Yeah, I think you'd have to rephrase this because I'm not sure what this means. What then become a light, fly to the sky. Wind. Cloud is running away. Well, I still owe Cloud a debt of light. I had to follow him to repay it. Not sure why Wind thinks he owes Cloud a debt. Is it for pushing him into the forest? It seems like the Wind did Cloud a favor by giving him a purpose to put out the forest fire. Because Cloud did not want to be pushed into the forest fire. I would kind of make that more clear. Like Cloud is like saying like, "Hey, I don't want to be with people," or "Hey, don't push me," or something. Wind, again, all debt had to be repaid. I was just moving this over here with this, since it's the same person talking, or I guess same character talking. Wind, get ready, fly around. Wind, debt of light had to be repaid by laughing. I'll become human and follow Cloud. So you can just control your own reincarnation in this world, I'm guessing. Wind, so I can laugh and make Cloud laugh too. When we can't laugh anymore, the debt is repaid. Okay, again, you can combine this over here with this, since nothing happens between Wind saying this and Wind saying this. The wind is gone, becomes a light, flies into the sky. Okay, so I think this needs to be rephrased a little bit. I know I said I wasn't going to line edits, but this part was hard to visualize what's going on. So the wind becomes a light, then flies into the sky, or a light that flies into the sky. So I think just adding a that or then over here would really help visualize this a little bit more. Nearby there is a flower that hears the story. Alright, so we have a third character involved, Flower. Flower is going to burn to death. Thanks, Cloud. I'm still alive. Alright, Flower, I have a debt of Cloud. 2, that's a water debt. Okay. Interesting concept. The concept of aberration condensation is now a transaction. And again, just all these guys can be combined into one, or just add in dialogue. Narration tags between these guys. If you're gonna put Flower over here and Flower over here separately, otherwise all this can be into one paragraph, since it's just one person or one character saying something without anything breaking that up. Alright, it has to be repaid. So I'm guessing it's kind of like the cycle of nature. So it is kind of interesting that they see a natural cycle of nature that as a transactional debt that has to be repaid. I'll reincarnate as a human too. A water debt must be repaid with water. When I become human, I'll repay the debt with tears. Yeah, it's weird that you have to cry to pay off a water debt. I do wonder what's going on over here. I will cry for the cloud, repay the debt, cry until all tears are shed, can't cry anymore, then the debt is repaid. Do you find it interesting that the flower thinks they have to cry for the cloud rather than just I'm not sure like maybe like evaporate the water up to the cloud for condensation or something to recreate the clouds, because that's how clouds are created, from evaporation. Then flower gone 2, become a light, fly to the sky. The 3 light flying. Not sure where 3 came from, because I thought the cloud didn't want to reincarnate human because they saw it as running away. So I was tracking 2 lights flying, the flower and the wind. Okay, so the cloud does reincarnate as a human, so I would say it's just putting in a line saying somehow the cloud decided to reincarnate as a human, because, let's see. Okay, that's my bad. Okay, the cloud does want to reincarnate as a human. The human, okay. Then the wind reincarnates to pay off the debt. Okay. Uh, okay, so I think my hangup was the cloud was wanting to reincarnate, but the wind was convincing them to not reincarnate. I would like a line here from Cloud saying like, "No, I'm going to reincarnate as a human anyway." Just make it, explicitly clear that Cloud reincarnates as a human. That way, I am not hung up over here, where these three characters are reincarnated as humans. All right, the Cloud seeks a smile, doesn't want to cry forever because it's Cloud's job. The wind owes Cloud light, so it owes laughs, wants to make Cloud laugh. The flower owes Cloud water, so it owns tears, want to cry for Cloud. Alright, so we have kind of like a triangle going on here where A wants B, B wants C, and C wants A. I might suggest maybe having the flower have some kind of relationship to the wind, because this is kind of like an isosceles triangle where both the wind and the flower have some kind of relationship with the cloud. Maybe have the flower have a relationship to the wind, and the wind has a relationship to the cloud. I think that would add another layer that would make this a bit more intrigue and have a bit more layers, maybe a bit more conflict to follow around. Where flower has a relationship to the wind, and then the wind has a relationship to the cloud, and maybe the cloud has a relationship to the flower. If that makes sense. All right. One born to smile, one born to laugh, one born to cry. So I don't think you need this part here because you illustrate it well enough with these guys. And then, yeah, I especially don't think you need this one as well because this is just a rehash of this part, which was a rehash of this part. Alright, scene 1, arc 1. Main character now on the debate contest in school. They debate about the meaning of life. Okay, so we're in a different type of scene. So I think, especially with screenplays, he needs to actually describe where we are. So I'm guessing we're in a school. So yeah, we get we're at school, but every screenplay I've seen like actually describes the school a little bit, like the actual setting that they're at. Like are they at a stage? Are they in a classroom? Are they like in a debate room? Are they in a gymnasium or something? Usually there's some visual description as to what is going on, like what the MC looks like. Whether there's a crowd going on, that crowd is parents attending, or if it's like other schoolmates. Because I've gone to debates where it was just all schoolmates divided in half. All right, Team A sends Bad Kid out to speak. Bad Kid, we were born of freedom. We are free. The meaning of life is freedom. It's a little bit intriguing that the person labeled Bad Kid is talking about freedom, which indicates that this text is meant to imply that the freedom is a bad thing to want. Team B then sent main character out to speak. Main character, we're born of freedom, but I think he meant, is freedom really the meaning of life? Are we too free that we lost in life and don't know what to do with the freedom? We are all born with responsibility. Okay, so this is kind of going into like what's that theory called? Where there's a predetermined theory, or where it's nihilism, where hey, we're just all chaos, we're just dust floating in the wind. Let's see. So I guess this person is arguing more towards the predetermined thing, where we are all born with a predetermined purpose in life, whereas Bad Kid seems to be more like nihilism. Hey, we're just dust in the wind. We're just chaos. We are born with responsibility. A father have responsibility. A son have a son responsibility. A student have student responsibility. Yes, we have freedom if we choose not to do our responsibility, but does that make a good life? Think what happened to the world if more. Oh, okay. Everyone choose not to do their responsibility. I think okay. So main character here really believes in the threads of society in a structured society. I wonder if this is gonna be a character flaw that the main character is born with, where he or she is just too rigid in the responsibility and doesn't take enough freedom with their life and doesn't allow it to adapt to life's challenges and curveballs. Because so saying like man plans, God laughs. Father, don't do their job. Son, don't do their job. Please don't do the job. Does that make the world a better place? Meaning of life is not freedom, it's responsibility. We're born to do our job. Father's job is to get ready for the son to be to. I think you mean succeed over here. What is the son's job? Okay. I would say cut this out, but it looks like main character is kind of aiming this as a jab towards his dad from this line over here, where he looks at his dad in the audience. Because I think this is the line is a good line to end on, like as that seems like a summarizing point to what main character is saying, especially in a debate. Main character's son's job is to live a life his dad can't have. That is the way to repay his parent. Okay. I do like just kind of like a flip around on a thing. So usually, well, at least every other medium I've seen when it comes to parenting is the parent's responsibility to provide the son the job that the dad or mom couldn't have. It's kind of interesting that it's flipped around, where it's the child's responsibility to fulfill their life in a way that the parents can have. Main character team won the debate. This is a school level debate contest, and now Bad Kid and MC team up and get ready for round 2 of the contest in the next few days. Is there another contest going on? Because main character just won the debate, so why is there a round 2? I guess this is a 3-round debate or something. Bad Kid failed to win to get first place, being cheered up by his friend. Bad Kid friend number 1. Come on, come to the B Club. Go to heaven is the best way to forget about the earth. Ha ha. So this doesn't really read as dialogue that kids are gonna have. That'll be my high level critique for this. One of the best things for dialogue is just kind of read this out loud and like actually talk it out like you're talking. Especially with somebody, if you can bounce this off of somebody, if you have a friend that's interested in like helping you develop your craft, speak this dialogue to your friend and be like, hey, does this sound like something a kid is going to say? Which I'm going to say, no, this does not sound like a kid. Especially here, I'm just nitpicking, but nobody says ha ha, but maybe just replace this with laughs in like parentheses to this is a screenplay. Main character walks down to his dad. Both of them keep talking while walking. Good job, son. We need to train hard the next few days for the round. Now tell it with me why we trying so hard. Yeah, again, I'm gonna say the same thing on this dialogue as I said over here on this dialogue. Just speak this out with somebody, bounce it off of somebody, and just like talk how you would talk to your dad. That's how I typically go out with my dialogue in the books. Like I always speak out every line of dialogue in my books. If school was the only time life was fair. I do like this a lot. Speaks into main character's philosophy on responsibility in life, and main character seems to rely solely on structure and rules. That's kind of interesting that school is like the only time in life that he feels in life that was fair. This does seem like a flawed perspective, which isn't bad, which is why I would want the dad to kind of push back on this, saying like, hey, there's more to life than school, son, which feels like something a typical parent would say. When you're out of school, you don't just compete with others by talent, money, status, connection, that all the other thing you had to compete with. Sorry, son, I failed another job. I don't have any money, status, and connection anymore. Alright. A good thing to respond for the main character to, drive home this point is maybe have the main character respond in a way that hints to the reader or the audience as to what happened with the dad that caused, this to happen, where he lost his money, status, and connections. And it does seem kind of like a toxic relationship that the dad has with the main character, where the dad is only focused on money, status, and connection, which seems to feeds into the main character's outlook on life, where he's just so obsessed with school and structure and responsibility and not really enjoying life. Don't said so, Dad. You are not fail at your job. Again, I think rework this dialogue because it sounded rigid whenever I said it. It's going to sound rigid to an audience whenever they say it. You teach me many things, and you build up my talent, Dad. Oh, you may be proud. Remember, son, you must be richer than me, son. You have the talent. Don't waste it. Yeah, this line right here, kind of speaks to something, a toxic relationship that I've definitely had with my dad. So this speaks with me, where the dad wants everything so bad for their son that they kind of forget how to be a dad, uh, forget how to want the best for their son. They want the best for their son in terms of society, but like not really happiness. Scene MC got love confession. MC and dad walk down and stop by one of Wind pranks. Okay, so now that we got the Wind, Cloud, and Flower getting involved, I was wondering when they would come into the story. MC then go alone to some place and wait for Wind to show up. Yeah, definitely would want this part put out into a scene because like we got sentient Wind making pranks with human characters, so it would be interesting to see like how sentient Wind, Cloud, and Flowers kind of come into this story and what the actual Wind does to prank the main character. When this shows up, she smiles happily at MC. Oh, Wind is a she. Okay, sorry. I thought Wind was a he at the time. That's my bad. She smiles happily at MC and walks closer to him. Okay, so it's like Wind a person walking? Because, Wind usually breezes or floats. I don't really see Wind walking. Or did Wind reincarnate as a human? Since this is a screenplay, I think you should probably just straight up say, hey, Wind is reincarnated as a human now. Wind is about to confess the love to MC, but before she can say anything, MC cut her. I'm guessing you say off. Yeah, you definitely want to say off or something, because cut her is, something else entirely than cut her off. No, love is not my job now. Okay, so do they have a prior relationship before? Because it seems like MC just met the Wind, but Wind is already confessing her love for MC. But they're talking like they already know each other. But humans are not born to just do their job, MC. Okay, so the fact that Wind is saying humans, that means like MC knows like, hey, this is Wind. It's strange that the main character or human is just tool and with talking with the concept of Wind. MC, yes they are. I had to focus on the contest next round. Then he walks away. MC shows he liked Wind, but will not date her because of his belief that love is not what he is doing now. And also, I mean, main character is also just I'm guessing a high schooler. I don't know how old Wind is. Sorry, I kind of get into the meta rabbit hole. So I was like, hey, how old is the Wind right now? Talking to a minor in high school. I think that might just be me and where my mind is going. You got to focus because now is the only time life was fair. After this, he walks away while Wind stays behind, and we see 3 homeless kids show up with her and come closer to her. Okay. Seeing the talk with dad that night. MC and his dad dinner talk at the table. Dad talks about how he don't get to go to school in the past. MC asks dad about philosophy and love and friendship. Okay. Let's see. There is a lot of things just kind of going on right now. All at once, because we got a debate contest that was going on. We didn't see the second round show up. We got main character talking to the Wind. We have a Wind, Flower, and Cloud having this triangle relationship. It is kind of a lot to just juggle right now. Something just keep in your head. But screenplays do work differently than novels do, where you can juggle a lot more. But I would say, I don't know, probably structure this a bit more so there's like less things to juggle right now. Maybe have them flow more into each other. Dad, to befriend, you had to have something in common. Dad, most of the kids in your school don't have the hard work, the drive that you have. Main character, they are rich kids. Okay, so it's main character looking down on rich kids, but the dad has instilled into the main character like, hey, to be rich is everything in life. So main character probably should look up to the rich kids, but it looks like from this, my bad. The way the main character is talking about them, it seems like main character doesn't think much of rich kids. Dad, I blame their parent. They think being rich is enough for their kids, so they don't care about them. This just kind of conflict with dad saying that, hey, being rich is everything in life. But now he's just talking bad about their parents for being rich, when that should be what the dad and MC idolize based off their conversation. No one did parent job better than you. This kind of remind me of where the mom is. I wonder if the mom is present in this story. Those kids don't even realize their own talent and they try to train it. I'm not sure what dad is implying here. Is he laughing at the kids for just trying to train their own talent? I'm not really sure what you meant by here. Main character, so I shouldn't try to make a friend. Maybe try to find a girlfriend. This kind of conflict with the main character straight up rejecting the wind without even a second thought, and now this conflicts with main character saying, asking dad about having a girlfriend when main character was just set in stone, like, hey, I don't have time for a girlfriend. That's not for me. Dad, that nice to have, but we don't have time for it. Making friend taking time. Find love take even longer time. This would be a good time to bring up how dad may or may not have fell in love with mom. Because that's my first thought when I'm thinking, like, well, you had to have a mom to make MC. What happened to mom? And it's weird that dad is saying we when it comes to Mark's relationship with a girlfriend. Kind of makes it feel like a toxic parasocial relationship with dad, where he's just living vicariously through the main character right now. Which, if that's what you're going for, good job. But if you're trying to come up with, like, if you're trying to portray a normal father-son relationship, then no. Dad, we don't have time for it. We are not like this rich kid. School was the only time life was fair, son. Okay, so dad is echoing the son sentiments here. Dad, we had to train our talent and get ready for success. Okay, so dad is conflicting over here. So he's saying, hey, he has to train our talent and get ready for success. But earlier, he was saying he's laughing at kids doing the same thing that dad says we have to do over here. Dad, you have to be richer than, I think he meant me over here, son. Because most friendship and lover end after school. When we grow up, when we grow up, we don't meet them again. Man, dad has a very pessimistic outlook on life. A very depressing outlook on life. Very transactional outlook on life. Scene, school the next day, and I think you meant in classroom over here. Teacher is teaching something about Oxy. MC just focused on writing on his own notebook. Okay, like OxyContin, like the painkiller. That's a very random thing to teach about. Okay, teacher, we in the chemical class, you should note on chemicals, not the debate. Okay, did the teacher notice that main character doing something with the debate? Because otherwise, this implies that the teacher's just saying this to the entire class, which the entire class is just gonna be like, what? Main character, I know. Okay, yeah, definitely add a line over here that says, like, hey, main character is just writing something about debate over here in the notebook, and then the teacher notices over here. It makes it a little bit more clear. Or you try to show off that you win the school contest. Does what you teach today is on the exam. Yeah, definitely try and rework the grammar in this dialogue. Because I don't see anybody talking like this. Like, for example, I'm trying to read this out loud as dialogue because this is a screenplay. Does what you teach today is on the exam. Like, that doesn't read like dialogue. Teacher, no, but it important, especially for a teacher. I think a teacher would use a more proper grammar. So, like, no, but it is important, especially. America, does you ever use this outside of school? Teacher, well, it is an Oxy problem. Well, yeah, OxyContin. Yeah, definitely is a problem. You had to meet a fire to use this, but it's important. Okay, so when you say Oxy, do you mean OxyContin or do you mean like oxygen? How important when you don't even use this a single time in life? The textbook is full of stuff like this. We still studying it only and only for one reason, because the exam decider life is full of stuff like this. Yeah, I can see where MC is getting over here, especially how standardized testing, at least here from the United States, by the way, where standardized testing is kind of like the culminating event of our elementary, middle, and high school. Whenever it seems like all high schools are just focused on getting you to pass a standardized exam rather than actually teach you stuff to make you better for the workforce, better to follow your dreams and realize who you are. So I can see where MC is getting at over here. So if it is not on the exam, it's not useful in real life, it's not important really. Teacher, you. I think the teacher will just cry out the name. Yeah, it is a little strange that main character doesn't have a name yet. I think it would be beneficial for the teacher to cry out the MC's name over here rather than just you. Whenever I'm an old guy. Whenever I hear you, I just think Soldier Boy. MC, but teacher, I not really blame you. I know you just doing your job. You're just a victim of the system. Okay, this guy's getting to the society mode over here now. I, a student, also will doing my job, doing my part in the system. MC has a very, also a very pessimistic outlook on life, where he just sees everything as just a role to be completed, not really a life to live. MC, they'll hold the notebook up by this. I will win the contest, and I will list a group of people at thanks. I will name you the speech. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be a teacher's culminating event in life. A student just thanking them in a high school speech. How's the rest of the class reacting to this, by the way? Because I would think that this guy is insane. I doing my part to make you proud about being a teacher of mine. That is my job as a student. I mean, I would think the student's job is to just learn the best to, improve their own life, not really just make them a better teacher. Teacher, that nice, but what I teach here is still important. What if you meet a burning house? Okay, so I guess you are talking about oxygen, not Oxycontin. With this knowledge, you can stop that fire or just save people inside. Well, teacher, if I see it burning, I gonna call the firefighter. It is not my job to fight fire. Well, I mean, schools are kind of like a, general pilot knowledge. Like they're supposed to be like, hey, I'm gonna teach you like a little bit of everything just so you decide. So like, the teacher teaching oxygen to main character means nothing, but another person might be like learn about oxygen and be like, hey, I want to be a firefighter. I think teacher could use that as a rebuke over here, or they come late and you can the people inside. I think you meant save the people inside over here. Well, I will watch them. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I'd be looking at MC2 over here. You're not trying to save them. And main character, no. Jesus Christ, main character. He said that in all caps too, man. He meant that. Okay, yeah, this is call to the principal's office over here. Yeah, this is even like school shooter vibes. Teacher, even when this fire is small. MC, no. Okay, yeah, he's adamant on letting people die, so that's main character stands up. I was born responsibility. Okay, well, he's talking about responsibility. Does he have responsibility to put out the fire? I mean, that's just like a civic responsibility. That's like the social contract. Like, hey, just look out for your fellow man or woman. I have to repay my father. What if I die when saving them? Will they do my responsibility? Okay, yeah, this guy is... Oh boy. Yeah, he's letting people die to fulfill his purpose in life. Would they accept my dad as their dad and take care of them and take care of him? Okay, I mean, that's a very warped way of looking at things. Repay him, or are they going to say, your son is a hero, then forget my father after a month? I mean, I think they just don't want to burn to death in a fire. I have responsibility. I have things to do in life. Teacher. MC, sit down. I will not save them. Whole class got angry at MC after he said it. I don't think angry. I think I'd be scared, concerned, and be like, hey, is this guy a school shooter, to be honest? Teacher, okay, calm down, guys. Let's resume again and leave him alone. You can quick stop a small, I think you meant fire. With this, if you learn and understand about this oxy. Yeah, definitely, I think, expand on what oxy means. I think you mean, I don't know what oxy means. Fire extinguisher or something? MC looked down and didn't care what the teacher said. He kept writing in his book. The voice of the teacher slowly became smaller and smaller. Wind skipped class, by the way. Okay, nice to know. I didn't know Wind was in the class. I am wondering where Cloud is going to come into this, because Cloud seemed like the central figure of the prologue. Alright, MC walked down and got ready to do training for the next contest with Bad Kid. He got pranked by Wind again. Okay, yeah, again, we kind of need more context as to what Prank the Wind is doing and why, and what this has to do with Cloud and Flower. Wind used the joke at MC. It failed. What joke is Wind? Or what joke are you talking about with Wind? Yeah, that'd be good dialogue. Dialogue to have. Wind won't give up. MC walked away, Wind walked next by. How about being friends? No, besides friendship in school, is fake. I wonder why Wind is so interested in the main character, because this guy, because she heard his little rant about like letting people die in a fire. Sorry, I have hiccups right now. Wind, what you mean? Most people stop being a friend when they get out of school, echoing with the dad sentiments. Then they meet new friend and forget about old friend they never meet, talk again. The friendship is real, why they disappear. When the friendship is real, we don't need to keep meeting to be friends. No way, what difference of stranger and a friend, you no longer talk. Sorry about my hiccups right now. When memories, even those we don't meet, we still friend in memories. All the good thing, bad thing build up. When in the end the friendship is real, you feel it. When you know you have a friend. Main character, besides not even friendship lasts, how love can last. MC, men only need to fail in love once in life. Do you mean fall or fail in love once in life? Because that's a totally different sentiment based on whether it's fail or fall. MC doesn't believe love and friendship in high school can last. Sorry, just go over my thoughts right now. Yeah, so it looks like main character has a very toxic outlook on life, and I'm thinking Wind, Cloud, and Flower, their relationship is going to influence main character for the better, because Wind, Cloud, and Flower have same a I guess a more normative relationship with when it comes to friendship and relationships, while main character and father are just stuck in this toxic, um, symbiotic, some relationship where dad's living vicariously through the MC and just pushing him towards a dark path, to the point where main character is just gonna let people die in a fire because he just believes, I guess he just believes like, hey, they deserve to die in a fire because they didn't fulfill their responsibility in life. He believes in everybody fulfilling their own responsibility, their own destiny, so much that if they fail to do that, even if circumstances are beyond their control, like a fire, that's their fault. That's kind of an interesting way to put things. My main things would be to definitely rework the dialogue so that it reads more like dialogue, and some the grammar really really interferes with my comprehension of the story. For example, need to fail in love is very different in fall in love. I'm not. That's a very different philosophy based off what it says, and I'm not sure if this is a typo or not. The typical euphemism is fall in love. Just things like that. Definitely, just if you have a friend, just kind of like bounce this off of people and just talk it out with them, and then write the dialogue based off that. Put yourself in the main character's uh shoes and speak as them. You become the main character, and or you don't need to really friends. I've also I write by myself, so sometimes I have to role play as different characters. It's just getting yourself in that frame of mind and just speaking how they would speak based off that personality that you want. Let's see. Other than that, definitely, definitely get with your producer or whoever you're submitting this to and learn their format for how they want screenplays, because that really does play a huge role in whether a screenplay is accepted. I've learned that the hard way on my end, where the producer that myself and my friend submitted, like they only wanted their screenplay like this. They didn't want any like narration, like for example this. Like they didn't want any of that. They wanted like a quote unquote pure screenplay like this. Other than that, I believe that is the end of my high level feedback. If you ever do want more in depth line edits, you're free to resubmit. I hope that these comments were helpful. I hope that my live readership was helpful to you. I do wish you the best and all success. I, you know, um, There are interesting things here, especially this conversation with the main character and the teacher. I do like the concept of wind, cloud, and flower. Like it's very different from what I've ever read in media before. Um, this does seem like a very something very original. Yeah, I please let me know if this was helpful to you, or not, and then good luck with your story.